Hello, QPR fans, Players TV, home and away. Got another exclusive ex-QPR player interview. This time with the one, the only Mr. Robbie Herrera. How you doing, sir?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
Not too bad. Good to see you, mate. Obviously, last time I saw you was obviously on the pitch of QPR. You know, unless there's any pictures in the newspapers or on the club website, etc. What have you been up to since you've left QPR, and obviously you've carried on playing football at numerous other teams? Are you still involved in football and stuff? Or?
Yep, still involved at the moment. I'm managing Dorchester Town in the Southern League Premier.
Okay.
Obviously, with the COVID, that's been paid to for a little while. Not sure whether we'll get back and finish the season, but yeah, I've been there for just around about a year now.
Okay, and how's that going? Is that going good, or how do you think yourself it's going?
Yeah, it's been difficult. I went in at a time where the club was struggling. Financially not in a great place, you know, so it's similar story to a lot of people, you know. I've gone in, I've had to firefight, I've had to chop in chains like you do, but you know, it's a good club, got fantastic facilities, so you know, they're looking to push on and get the club going right from the bottom through to the first team. Okay,
well, good luck with that. I mean, obviously with the COVID scenario, I mean, everyone's affected by top flight down to the leagues that you yourself and stuff. You know, as long as everyone comes out of it the other side and try and get back to some kind of normality, like obviously normal life and footballing life for lots of people as well. Yeah. You know, it's you know, people can get on with it and then hopefully get back into a normal routine as such. But I just want to say thanks for joining us on QPR Fans of Players TV to do a Q&A interview about your time spent at QPR, Robbie. Obviously, just a few questions, nothing too hard. First one could be QPR related, or it's just a football general question. When growing up as a young boy, did you support any team as such, or did you have a favourite player like watching on the TV, or then when you were going to games to watch games that you wanted, that made you decide you want to become a footballer?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I never really supported anybody when I was younger. I used to go up to watch Chalk United, which was my local team. So my dad took me up there to watch them. And that was sort of my club, 5 minutes up the road. But like I say, my dad used to take me up there to watch them when they had a home game, and they had Bruce Rioch playing. I don't know if you remember Bruce Rioch. Yeah. You know, when he was coming to the end of his days, but he still had a bit of quality about him. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I grew up watching me football mainly. And then it was obviously match of the day, and I'm watching Man United, your Liverpools, and that. So. But mainly Torquay, to be honest.
At least you stayed local. I mean, like other fans that travel, you know, support teams miles away from where they live. At least you're local, which is a good thing. You know, obviously some people do it obviously because it's their nearest team to them and stuff, and you know, why not? It's you know, makes a difference instead of being glory hunters and stuff like that. You know, you fans that want to support the team that win things. All right, the idea is we want to win things, you know, as well. Everyone wants to win things, but unfortunately we all can't. So okay. Next question. What year did you join QPR? Obviously, I know you were there as a youth apprentice as such.
Yeah. So I got my scholarship, or my apprenticeship, as they called it back in the day. That was 1986. That was in July '86. And then I think that by the time I left, it was in March '93. Okay, I'm pretty sure.
Obviously, when you did play for QPR, I was looking through some information. It was like you only made like 6 appearances for us in that length of time, which must have been quite strange for yourself.
Yeah, I was quite friendly with the fans because I used to sit with them every weekend watching.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's good in one way, but bad because you obviously wouldn't be out on the pitch. Obviously, you know. It's, It was obviously, you know. From what I remember of you playing, you looked a half decent player for us from the games that you did play in. And I know, you know, we had other players along yourself that in the team, but you know, you did your part. I mean, from what I remember. So, you know, as much of a consolation that is for myself to you for the amount of games that you played. You obviously did your club work stuff and you know, duty for the club, etc. What team did you make your debut for QPR against?
It was Wimbledon away at the old Plough Lane. I remember it against the Crazy Gang.
Yeah, that must have been mental.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, listen, I never experienced anything like it. I've got to be honest. You know, you had Big Fash, you had Vinnie Jones, Dennis Wise. You know, they had a team of sort of wind-up merchants and naughty lads. You listen, and whatever, they did it really well. They did it really well.
I mean, if that helped them get the results, then they'll win it, won't they? Let's be honest. I mean, it'd be the same for any other team if they had a way of dealing with the opposing side, whether it be off the pitch, changing rooms, or like the showers and stuff like that. Where any tricks, any kind of like, you know, underhanded stuff to have the benefit of it, then I suppose why not? But what's it like at Player Lane changing room for QPR team players like going in there? I mean, what were they like? Were they blaring out the music and stuff like that? Or?
Yeah, they're very in your face. Like you say, you know, the music was blaring. You know, you could hear them shouting and getting aggressive.
And the other players in the QPR team at the time. I mean, to combat that, obviously you're trying to focus on the game itself, and you know, what the manager and etc. was going to say to you before the game. It must have been very difficult to do that.
To be honest with you, I was one of those that I'd never really get too nervous or worry about it. But that was something else. Just go in there and experiencing it. Yeah.
Okay, mate. Next question. Obviously, for the limited time that you spent at QPR, I mean, maybe even in your youth career as well when you played. I don't know how many games you played youth-wise. What's the most memorable game you've played in whilst playing for QPR, if there was any, or any highlighted games?
The one that sticks out for me is I played away at Liverpool, Anfield, and it was a day they won the title 30 years ago. Yeah. So yeah, that stands out for me. Great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Walking up the tunnel to get on the pitch, and the coppers singing "You Never Walk Alone," and that made the hairs on the back of me neck stand up.
I was going to just ask you, what's that like as a player? Never mind the fans. I mean, obviously, when you're standing there or sitting there in the seat on your way into Anfield, you know, obviously the crowd. I mean, you go to all the other, you know, you go to the other grounds. I don't know what it is about Anfield. There's just something about that gaff. It's just, I don't know. I mean, you know, every ground can have their unique little or quirky little things and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, but to hear them unison and like, you know, that many fans sing it, and it's just, for a player, it must be even similar. Like, for never mind a fan.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was brilliant. Obviously, you know, just to play there, and it was back in the day when it wasn't all seating.
Yeah.
And I've got a few pics from the game and what have you, and you can see all the little heads in the cop there. Like, you know, it was packed. It was rammed. So yeah, great experience. I mean, we lost the game 2-1.
Yeah.
We went 1 up. Should have gone 2 up. We hit the bar. I think it was Colin Clark might have hit the bar. And then they got a goal. Rushy scored, Ian Rush, and then John Barnes scored the winner from the penalty. And that was the day they won the title.
But it's a good experience for yourself, though, Robbie, and your fellow teammates. Even though they won the title, you know, and I can't remember where we finished that season, to be fair. But you know, I suppose you see it happen. I mean, we have seen it quite regularly at Rangers as well, like teams winning the title over the years. Obviously, for the games that you did play at QPR, and then, you know, who was your roommate on away games
Normally, when I got in the first team or I travelled, it was Simon Barker.
Okay, what's he like to room with? I mean, he seems a decent enough fellow. He's done a steady enough in the pitch as well for QPR.
Yeah, he was very, very straight down the line, Simon. Good guy, great guy. Yeah. I thought he had a good career. Obviously, he works for the I think it's the PFA now.
Yeah, that's right.
And I've had spoke to him a few times over the last couple of years and that, like. But yeah, they're just a decent guy.
Thank you very much for that. Obviously, whilst playing for QPR, what's it like playing at Loftus Road in front of a full house, or otherwise known as the Client Print Foundation Stadium now?
Yeah, brilliant. It's well, you know, so it's an enclosed ground, isn't it? It's tight. When the fans are in full swing, brilliant, unbelievable, great atmosphere. I just used to like, you know, it's just a lovely place, you know.
Say about Anfield, and like you as a player coming out onto the pitch and hearing "You'll Never Walk Alone" in front of like 40,000 or whatever it was. I mean, QPR's ground. We used before the all seat happened. I think we held about 27. Could have been more at times. I mean, because we're so close to the pitch, there was no other ground like it. Maybe except West Ham's ground. But other than that, you know, it must have felt like, as a player, double that when the team are playing well, as you say, and when it's in full swing, it must be like.
Yeah. Well, the games I did play at home, but the first team games were Leeds. That was a midweeker, and against Arsenal at home. And I remember that, and that was packed out. And again, the atmosphere was electric. In the loft, and that is fantastic. Fantastic.
It must give the players a boost though as well, Robbie. To give you even more encouragement. I mean, even if you're if you feel yourself you're not having a good game, maybe the crowd getting in and you think, right, okay, that might spur you on a bit as well. Even if you are as well. So that the fans are the extra man, I suppose, as they do state in which can happen. It does happen. And I'm sure there's been players who've maybe not been playing well. Maybe some fans might get on their back, but then on the flip side of that, it's like because the backing of the crowd and the team are doing some good movements in the game or playing well in that period of time, then it kind of spurs you on a bit more. So it's it must be a good thing to have as well as a player.
Yeah.
You can get the opposite side of that as well. You have playing barrack yard and stuff. Do you keep in contact with any ex-teammates from your playing days whilst at QPR before social media, and now with the explosion of social media out there?
Yeah, there'd been a couple. Tony Roberts, because we were quite close when we were scholars. We were always out and about, and because he only lived around the corner when we were apprentices. I'd kept in touch with him for a little while. I don't know if you remember the name Stephen Lynch. Steve Lynch. Yeah, Lynchy. Because I had his boy down with me at Torquay. When I was running the 18s at Torquay United. He was one of our apprentices, one of our scholars. So I'd kept in touch with Steve. And now we've got a group chat going. There's a few of us. Yeah, there's a few of us on there. Obviously, myself, Tony Roberts, Steve Lynch, John Murray, who unfortunately didn't make it as a pro, but was with us through the couple of years as a scholar. Sean Cummins again, who was a scholar with us. Ian Bennett has just come onto the group chat. Who went on to have a good career at Birmingham. There's a few. Mark Fleming who left us a couple of games and then left. And Brian Law. Brian Law was on it. He's not on at the moment, but he's gone over to France. But Brian Law, Big Taff was on it with us as well. And
keep in contact with some of your ex-teammates from
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. We just get on there we get on. We have a chat about things, daily life and what have you, and then we have the stupid chat as well that comes on whenever he's had a bit.
That's all part of it, mate. It's all part of the game. It's all part.
It's brilliant. It keeps us sane, especially in these times. Keeps us sane.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. What teammate had the worst dress sense at QPR whilst you're playing for the club?
Okay. It can only be one that really sticks out on my mind. Carl Reddy.
Okay, you're not the first to say that.
No. Wow. Listen, he was a bit way out there anyway. Carl, a great lad, and he went on to have a half decent career as well. But some of his dress sense, sometimes you look at him and think, "What are you doing?" But there's sometimes he could pull it off. I'm not just going to put him down. There was sometimes he could pull it off, and nobody else could do it. But yeah, he was quite strange with his stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some video clip. I don't know whether it was a prank or something. And I think Carl Reddy come out in either a yellow blazer or jacket or some white coloured jacket, or it might have been in the programme. I can't remember now. But I thought, wow, it's obviously the fans don't really normally see that because you just see him on the pitch wearing the kit and then outside the ground before or after. Unless some extravagant casual wear comes to the ground, but normally the club might say wear a club tracksuit or something suitable for the day. Yeah. But yeah, you're not the first one to say about Carl Reddy. I think Les, interview with Les many a couple of years ago, and I think he said the same thing about. I'm sure it was him. But yeah, you're not the first. Was there any jokers in the team at QPR while you were at the club?
Yeah, two that brilliant. Big Macca, God bless him.
Yeah.
God bless him, Macca, and his sidekick was Dave Bardsley.
Oh right, okay.
And they just bounced off each other. They were we'd be in hysterics, absolute hysterics. They were two of the funniest guys. They'd have a go at each other, but it would be jokey. obviously. Nothing meant, you know, and they were just two funny guys, always joking about, messing about, getting the spirits up. Yeah, it was them.
Especially like if the team weren't playing too great, or if they're having a bit of a sticky patch, you know, like, you know, never mind individuals, but as a team, and then if you get the jokers, you know, like the lads and stuff, which can only be good. I mean, you know, then I suppose it'd be like saying, as well as play football with each other, if you went out for a few drinks together or a meal together, you know, team bonding thing.
Yeah.
That's part of it as well. You know, having a bit of a joke and a banter with the lads in the changing room or whatever. You know, as long as you do, I think you know, like in normal day life with your mates, whatever, you have banter and so you think like, but it's not going any further. You know, you someone's on the switch kind of thing. You know, it's a full part of it, which is great. I mean, it's great to hear as well. I mean, I remember I was doing a Q+A game at QPR a few years ago, and Alan McDonald was my manager, and some of the stuff he was coming out with was offensive. Was like having a bit of a joke with us, like, you know, he was, you know, there's like big lads, skinny lads, you know what I mean? He's like, he goes, I've got a right team here, you know, like, and stuff like that. And Gary Waddett was the other manager. He seemed quite funny as well. Some of the stuff he was coming out with whilst the game was going on, kind of thing. So I mean, obviously David Barsley. I mean, you know, decent.
Oh, great fullback.
In America now, isn't he? I think, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. He's in America. Yeah.
Good. Just a couple more from myself to you, if that's okay, Robbie. What's playing for QPR, the home games and the away games? What was like the normal routine? Was there music played, or people getting in their separate zones and stuff? What was pre-match?
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of changed a little bit, and now it's all the music, and you know, you get somebody that's a DJ for the team and that, and brings all the music in and sorts it all out and has got it on. Back in the day, there wasn't so much of it. So it was a bit more like you were just saying there, you know, like it was people psyching themselves up or psyching up the rest of the boys and chatting round, and you know, it was a little bit quieter, should we say. So you get one or two that, you know,
like women at home.
But there'd be one or two that'd be banging the doors and the walls and what have you. There'd be a couple that would sit quietly and just think about the game, you know, and that was it. So there wasn't so much music in there. I'm not sure if we did have a little bit of music. I think when we used to be on the coach and that, I think Justin Channing had a bit of music going, and Gavin Maguire had a bit of. And that's one I forgot to mention as well. I've stayed in touch with Gav. He's working at the NHS now, you know, and you know, fair play to him. He's had a career change.
Yeah, I did an interview with him not too long ago, ending of last year. I mean, it's great to like yourself, you know, you see your players out on the pitch, or I mean, obviously, unless you bump into them, depending on where you are, of course, and stuff, and then whether they have time. Yeah, he seemed all right. He didn't. I mean, obviously, didn't say what he was doing. He was just going about, you know, with the COVID stuff and everything else. And but I have since the interview, I did see up that he's involved in the NHS stuff or whatever now. Just one final question from myself, Robbie. Can you give me and the QPR fans watching this Q&A interview an overall summary of your time spent playing for QPR, please?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I was a small Torquay town boy, so I didn't know too much about the club itself. But when I got there, listened to people that were working there, and just the overall atmosphere of playing at Loftus Road, or you know, the Key and Prince Foundation ground now. It's special. It's got a unique atmosphere. Like I say, it's an enclosed ground. You can hear everybody. It's tight. It's just a great place to play football. And I was fortunate enough to be there for a few years, play with some world-class players, and have some fantastic coaches that, you know, passing on their knowledge, you know. So for that, I'll be forever grateful.
It's just a shame you didn't get more appearances for the team, Robbie, to be fair.
I mean,
due to different numerous issues and stuff, you know. I mean, you know, but considering for the limited time that you had, even though you were at the club for 5 years or whatever it was, plus being the youth as well, you know. But yeah, it's nice words to say about our club, you know, your ex-club, and obviously I just want to wish you well for Dorchester.
Thank you. Dorchester Town. Yeah, yeah.
Go check out Dorchester Town. I mean, obviously when they're back up and running, give them support no matter where you are. Robbie's down there. I'm sure he'll welcome you with open arms to stay with QPR and stuff. I just want to say big thank you to Robbie for joining us on QPR Fans and Players TV Home and Away, do a Q&A interview with us about your time spent at QPR. And that's it for myself, Deejay Ranger, with the one, the only Mr. Robbie Herrera, the QPR Fans and Players TV Home and Away. We're out of here. Come on, you R'ss.